Hello Leapers! Heading off to Costa Rica in, oh my god, less than 2 weeks. Thank you all so much for being so incredibly flexible in just flipping over from Cuba to Costa Rica, and I promise you Chris has got something really extraordinary set up, so it is really exciting. They're excited, and if he's excited that means you're going to have a really good time. So I just wanted to put this little video together because I'm getting lots of emails coming through saying, but what about this and what about that? So I just thought I'm just going to rattle through some key points so that we're all on the same page, and I'm just hoping it's going to be helpful. So grab a cup of tea, pencil and paper, and let's get started. So starting with your basically boring to-do list, the admin. Your flights. Everybody has booked your flight. That is utterly fantastic. Now we just sit, it's nail-biting stuff, before you take off. But we all have to believe you are going to take off. All is going to be well. We've done this before now. This is probably the 7th or 8th group we've got away since December, so we're feeling confident. So all your flights are booked. For those that are already in Costa Rica, I'm going to email you directly and make sure that you navigate into the Rosa of America Hotel on the 4th. That is where we need you. So everybody arriving on the 4th is going to be picked up, doesn't matter what plane you're on, and you will all come out at customs, see the LEAP sign, be whisked away to the Rosa of America where you can decompress after your long flight. And then the following day you will move on out to start the adventure. Now, I know a lot of you are starting to buy your insurances. There are 2 insurances, as I've said, in numerous emails. The Battle Face one, or if you're American, the iNext. That insurance covers you for all your personal things, your personal liability, should you lose your luggage, should you drop your phone, should you get ill and you're repatriated back home. That's your bog standard travel insurance, and that covers you for everything I've just said, plus should you get ill with COVID, no less, on the other side. The INS Groupon Costa Rican insurance is also essential, as I have rammed home. This has to be in line with your flight in and your flight out. Now, if you get to Costa Rica and you want to change your return flight, that is no problem at all. Both insurances can be tweaked and changed accordingly. So just go with what the flight dates that you've got now and work with that. The key, most important thing about these 2 insurances is that as far as your entry procedure into Costa Rica is concerned, the only insurance Costa Rica want to know that you've got is, of course, their INS. So when 24 hours before you fly, you fill in the final piece of the jigsaw, which is the Salud Health Pass. I will be sending you that link. And it will ask you the question, do you have insurance? Yes, I do. Is it the INS? Yes, it is. And then you fill in their policy number. Now, when you get to the policy number, you will look at it on your form. There's a really long code, which is probably about that long. That is not your policy number. On some of the certificates, it says policy numero, and it will be dead obvious. In some instances, it doesn't, but it's kind of 0011. You'll see the difference when you start looking at the policy. Anyway, you fill it in. Bob's your uncle. You get a QR code, and that is what you need to get onto the aeroplane. In your MyLeap, I know a lot of you have been sending us your insurance details, which is absolutely fantastic. The reason, what we really want you to do is in your MyLeap, if it is very easy, just to put in your insurance policy and your emergency telephone number. That just gets logged in our database. The reason we like that is should there be a problem and we need to act fast and we can't get hold of you or your parents to find out what the number is, we can just start the insurance activation there and then. So that's why we need it. We don't need the INS, we need your iNext or Battle Face. Injections and first aid, so your health and safety. Injections, I know I've spoken to masses of you about this. It's the bog standard ones that are important, such as hepatitis, typhoid, and if you haven't had a tetanus boost in the last 10 years, that's always good. There is no malaria there, so you don't need malaria tablets. But what you do need, because we're on the move, you are on the move for 3 phases, is a really good first aid kit. Something like, antibacterial wipes, Savlon. The thing that we worry most in the tropics is the simple cut getting infected, because it is wet, soggy, humid environment, and bacteria loves that. It's a very happy place to get breeding. The bacteria, that is. Visas, another question. You get your 90-day tourist visa on arrival. Okay, so that's very simple. When he asks you on arrival, you're there as a tourist, and you put in the address, the Rosa of America, San Jose. That's all you need to do. When you're leaving the UK, this is not for those coming from the States, this is only for the UK. The reason, if anybody asks you at Heathrow or in transit in Paris, what is the reason for your travel? It is because you are going volunteering. And this week we are sending you a letter to wave in front of their nose saying you are doing just that, okay? So that is the reason. But on all your entry procedures, you are going as a tourist. Apart from the Air France documentation, you'll see the right one to tick. It says you're going for kind of volunteering reasons. So that's what you circle. Your PCR test, I know a lot of you have got that organised. Remember, top tip, it is in a 72-hour window, working backwards from when you arrive in Paris. And please note that you arrive in Paris with an hour ahead from us. So just take that into consideration. Now, if that comes back positive, you are not to panic. We've been there before. You're going to let us know on Thursday. We're going to calmly change your flight, change whatever is required. So do not go into a tailspin. We've done this before, and we will make alternative arrangements depending on what the situation is. Kit list. Okay, now this kit, Chris has been very specific on this because you are on the move for going to 3 different stops. Please look in MyLeap and look at the kit list that we've written down there. But I'm just going to mention a few things which he keeps saying. Have you told everyone? Have you told everyone? I'm just like, yes, here I am. I'm going to tell you now. Rucksack. Do not take a suitcase. You are on the move the whole time. Please take a rucksack, because when you're moving from A to B, getting off the bus, walking to the new thing, it is so much easier. If you are going to buy a new rucksack, I highly recommend the side loaders. They're so much easier to navigate your kit. A day pack, really essential, probably about 25 litres. Make sure it's really comfortable on your shoulders and on your waist. Possibly has a kind of sweat back. Don't take your old school bag, that's going to be hopeless, because you are going for several treks into the jungle, and so something that's really comfortable and will assist your trekking, not actually make it more uncomfortable, more challenging. Water bottle, please take a tin one, a metal, just not plastic, because plastic in the heat, it just doesn't work. So something that's insulated, so if you've got to put cold water in it, it will stay cold all day. A hammock. Now, Chris, in your first phase, when you're in Manuel Antonio National Park, he is thinking that he's going to take little groups of you, whoever wants to do this, out into the jungle, camping out, listening to all the jungle noise one night. And what you need to do is those really thin hammocks that you get online, and you can string up between 2 trees and try and have a good night's sleep. I wish you luck with that, but it is good fun. Pillow, blow-up pillow, really useful, and a single duvet cover. Now, I know you're going to go, what, seriously? I know, it's the best travel top tip known to man. Instead of taking a lightweight sleeping bag, which is frankly going to be too hot, I recommend that you take a single duvet cover, clearly without the duvet in it. But what is so good is it's really spacious, you climb into it, and if there are loads of bugs, you can button yourself in, cozy tozy. Works a treat every time. Single mozzie net, sturdy trainers. Please don't take those silly slippery trainers, which they might look cool, but actually they're hopeless when you're going to be sliding around in the jungle. A head torch, really, really important, especially when you're doing the turtle conservation. And please make sure it's got the red light option. on it. Chris also said a snorkel mask, really useful when you're at Samara Beach. Just if you can be bothered, you don't have to take that. But there are more things on the My Leap area, so have a look there. Other top tips people ask about, money. Okay, yes, they accept the US dollar, they accept that everywhere, but you will get in change, you will get the local currency, which is the colones. So I would take a few dollars, but you don't want too much cash on you. They have ATM machines all over the countryside, so you can easily get money out as and when you need it. You're not going to need that much money to begin with because you're kind of tucked away off the beaten track. You will need, just a few dollars for lunch on the first day. Lunch is when you're on the move. Lunch is when you're on the trek. And on the one day when you're at the wildlife sanctuary, you're going to go out to the beach for a day out. So that's all you're going to really need. And then when you're out and about at Samara, then clearly every evening you'll want to go out for a few drinks, and so that's a bit of cash for that. Insurance. What is a really good top tip is just to leave photocopies and all your insurance numbers, all your passport details, just leave everything copied at home. So if there is a problem, if you get your bag nicked, parents, I know you'll get that call just to say, cancel that card, I've lost this, extend that, and it can be done with very minimum fuss. So those are my top tips. Okay, quickly now, just going into your itinerary, just as a recap. Okay, 3 phases. The first phase is going to be your jungly, hot and sweaty phase. Actually, the whole lot's going to be hot and sweaty. Costa Rica is hot and sweaty, but I'm looking out at the cold. Who cares? Manuel Antonio National Park, you're going to be in a finca-style accommodation. That's right on the edge of the national park, and then you're going to be bobbing in and out. After that, you're going down to the wildlife centre. I'm telling you now, it is hot in the wildlife centre. And all your accommodation is there. There is no drinking and no smoking in the wildlife centre, so you've got to respect that. But Chris knows that everyone likes to have a drink after work, so there will be little trips out of the centre to the village up the road. And then midway on that 10 days, you're going to go for a day out to the beach just to kind of, because it will be hot. But it's going to be so rewarding, that wildlife centre. Just to put it in perspective, just before Chris called, the whole team there were in conversation about putting all the wildlife down. So you really have saved something special. So there was a reason why Cuba didn't happen. The third phase is going to be at Samara Beach. Now this is half play, half work again. Another 10 days, but you're going to be split into 2 groups when you're at the beach, and each group is going to take it in turns to go and spend 3 nights, 4 days at AVSO, which is one of Costa Rica's main wildlife sanctuaries, and they particularly focus on turtle conservation. The turtle conservation sanctuary there is very basic, so that's again when you're going to need that duvet cover to slide into, your mosquito net and your pillow. But it's going to be fun and rustic. Throughout the whole experience, you're going to have really comfortable, because Costa Rica is so comfortable, delicious food, just really easy to manage, with kind of interwoven, tough bits to challenge and to keep the conversation buzzing. And I know you're going to absolutely love it. So this week we will send you the letter that you need to get out of Heathrow, your letter saying that you are volunteering, the final link to their Salud website to do 24 hours before you fly. And other than that, I just wish you a fantastic, fantastic trip away. Any questions? You know where we are.